Link 6 by Debbie Friday. Around my waist and he keeps giving me fuck me eyes. The bass is so heavy that I can feel my teeth quivering in my mouth, my brain jostling in my skull, my blood vibrating in my ears. I smile at him. In this dark room, our skin is slicked with sweat and his fingers feel almost cool on my frame. 1,000 pairs of feet stamp in uneven unison, palms reaching through shards of light towards the ceiling. Electricity circles the heavy air, clinging to loose hair and fingertips, and we are surrounded by bodies. I lean back into his open hands, lower my lids, and enter the wild zone. In this dark room, I become something else. My beautiful boy presses his thumb into my pelvic bone, the same way he did 4 seasons ago when we first met. It was the annual solstice demo, and it was raining outside the dome, fat yellow droplets of a wet yellow planet hitting the glass walls of the warehouse. I was zoning out by myself in a corner post-protest, coming down off the blend, trying to reintegrate into these hands, this head, and this body. A tap on my shoulder, a stroke, a scratch, a loaded gun. I remember turning around and seeing his beautiful brown eyes for the first time. There was a yellow light, a warning. There, the sick animal, the empire of death. We kissed, and the plunge into oblivion was immediate. I became a cellular memory, an ancient and painful recollection of separation and reunion. Again and again and again, forevermore. He looks at me now with those eyes, and they are full of him and his love. Cold things. My pulse quickens.
Death all around us.
In the void and in the ether.
You are a wilting flower. You are granite.
Perhaps. And you are an empty wine glass, a vacuum sucking the life out of me.
Perhaps.
A trumpet sounds, the tempo picks up. In this dark room, we move to the beat. 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 We move to the beat.
I don't get tired of you. All this thirst equipment must surely be tired of me. The water jar, the water carrier. I have a thirsty fish in me that can never find enough of what it's thirsty for. Show me the way to the ocean. Break these half measures, these small containers. All this fantasy and grief. Let my house be drowned in the wave that rose last night out of the courtyard, hidden in the center of my chest. A fire has arisen above my tombstone hat. I don't want learning or dignity or respectability. I want this music and this dawn and the warmth of your cheek against mine.
DEMOFest 444 is scheduled for October 221st. Surrounded by a naturally occurring 110% nitrogen atmosphere, this season's planet is be big and be blue, with never-before-seen molecular holograms and 500-foot-tall toxic foliage. DJ Godless will be spinning a B-special algo for the night, featuring tracks by Nihil, Anime, and Spellium. All new blue skins from the House of Gail Etienne, Spring Summer 222 are also available at the store now. Guest list is exclusive to Tier 3 employees and up. Tickets are limited. Restrictions apply. This announcement is brought to you by People's Coalition of ABC Inc.
What is love if not violence?
The floor rumbles and I sway my hips to the rhythm. Philo is doing a two-step and waving his outstretched arms vertically. Groups of people move through our bubble, pushing into us and us into them. We rise together like foam to the surface. In moments like these, words are difficult and no one speaks. Instead, we memo, a poke, a prod, thought waves moving through the ether. I open myself to receive from all, and so much feeling floods over and into me, over and into me and over. I am deep in this rhythmic loop when Weaver memos me, breaking the cycle. His ping reaches through space and time, a concentrated hit of dopamine shocking me out of the shared reverie and bringing me back to the room. The pulsing heartbeat of the music ripples through my body like a shiver, and I am awakened by it. A message, come. I know Philo has received this message too, because he opens his eyes and gazes out into the crowd towards the signal. In this dark room, there is only a sea of shape-shifting shadows and plasma. Another memo, Weaver again, he is calling us to him. Excited, I grab Philo by the hand and we begin to make our way through the crowd. There are feet and fists and hips and elbows and hats and bags and smoke and glitter. I glance up briefly and try to catch sight of the dome ceiling. Liquid nitrogen clouds dot the sky and sparkle like disco balls. Someone bumps into me then, and I almost lose my grip on Philo's hand. An electric guitar sings. 2 yellow braids whip past like lightning. It's a numbskull.
There are laws to the universe. Archetypal patterns. Watch it, Link. This isn't happening. You watch it, Link. Whatever. There are 100, no, 100 million thousand people in this room.
Philo grips my hand tighter and we keep moving.
Salad days can't last forever.
Yeah, what do you know about anything?
I know about as much as I can.
Oh, what thick skin you have.
Not much skin, shallow veins, heart smaller than the size of my palm and shrinking by the day.
And me? What about me?
You have 2 hearts. One is here in my hand, the other is in a pod somewhere in IRL, pumping blood into your twitching limbs and closed eyelids.
You don't know anything about anything. And at that moment we arrive. There, in the center of a circle of onlookers, are two men, entangled. One of the men, tall and dark-haired, is wearing head-to-toe designer GE skins. A blue monogram scarf hangs over his shoulder, and his monogram pants are down around his thick ankles. He is leaning forward, thrusting violently, his face stained and slick with sweat. The other man, shorter and more muscular, is bent over on his hands and knees. His entire body is painted blue from head to toe, including his hair, his earlobes, his nails, and the crevice of his asshole. He is wearing a gold chain and black boots. The GE monogram dots his painted skin like tattoos, glistening under strobe lights. The two of them move together, like a waveform, like a pendulum, like some oscillating polyphonic mass of flesh. Everyone in the circle is watching and dancing around them. Philo starts up, his arms swinging, his eyes trained on the spectacle before us, his mouth open, his dick hard. The painted man arches his back and twists his neck around to look directly at me then. We lock eyes. Weaver, my best friend.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my Blink stream. It's your Link, Diana Deviance. Blink, Link. I'm here today with a V special guest, one of the hottest and trendiest architects of the moment, DJ Godless. Link, Link. Now, as we all know, DJ Godless took The Vow earlier this season. I know, the crazy, right? I don't know about you, but I've been following his Blink stream for months now, and I'm just the fascinated. I mean, it's just the cool and the hot, you know? Makes you really think about your own life and all the time you're wasting in your pod when you could be free from the illusion of reality and the suffering inherent in flesh. I, for one, would love to be born again. Anyway, here he is, everyone. Pings for DJ Godless. Link, Link.
Hello. Hello.
So, you're the hottest architect around right now. Your algos are absolutely everywhere. You've achieved tier 5 and are well on your way to tier 6. Tell us, how does it feel?
Just kidding. It's all be good. Be good. Be good.
Very cool. Rumour has it that you've personally met the heads at ABC. Is that true?
Telling the truth is a release, liberation in and of itself. That's sad. One outside of such banalities, dualities, and activities, even until one's death. Mystery has multiple meanings.
Very cool. So, of course, there's the big question on everyone's mind. What we all want to know. What's it like, taking the vow? Did it hurt? Are you happy now?
There is a memory. A day where the sun was shining through a window portal 160 hours in virtual. A glitch. Piss and shit and vomit all over my body. Black fingers, dead feet. Dry tongue. I was alone. The mightiest of men have hitherto always bowed reverently before the saint. As an enigma of self-subjugation and utter voluntary privation. Why did they thus bow? They divined in him, and as it were, behind the questionableness of his frail and wretched appearance, the
superior force
which wished to test itself by such a subjugation, the strength of will, in which they recognized their own strength and love of power, and they knew how to honor it. They honored something in themselves when they honored the saint. In a word, the mighty ones of the world learned to have a new fear before them. They divined a new power, a strange, still unconquered enemy. It was the will to power which obliged them to halt before a saint. They had to question them.
Wow, that is, well, VVV cool. Okay, last question. The ladies and the gents want to know, are you single? Are you seeing anyone right now?
Why do we suffer? Why do we dream? Why be one when there is all? I see everyone all the time.
The wicked. Anyway, that's it, everyone. Don't forget, DJ Godless will be spinning at DemoFest 444 on October 221st. I've heard rumours that it's a blue planet, and judging by GE's latest skins at the store, I think the rumours are true. Who's got their tickets? I know I do. See you there. Link, link, link.
In the midst of multitudes, I watch Weaver, my dear friend, open his drooling mouth and stare at me with blank eyes. His face says euphoria, but the eyes never lie. He's off the blend, lost in deep feel. He once said,
There is literally nowhere else to be.
He once said,
To permit oneself to be deeply moved and changed by experience is to die.
In this dark room, at one point or another, everyone is disintegrating. As without, so within, so below, as above. And in this state, in this place, Weaver beckons me to him. I feel Philo push his erection into the soft flesh of my lower back, nudging me forward, and so I move past wriggling, bouncing, sweaty flesh and cross the threshold into the eye of the circle. Reaching my friend, I kneel down to face him. His dark-haired partner slows his thrusting but doesn't stop. Weaver smiles at me.
Bling, Have you come to witness my participation in the universe?
You called me here.
You're right, I did. Now, why did I do that? I can't remember.
Because you're not merely an architect, not like the rest of us. You're an artist, a real one.
If I'm an artist, then you're my lover.
You have so many lovers, 100 million thousand of us.
And you have all come to witness me.
Yes. If you perform, I will witness you. If you live, I will die. If you die, I will live.
And if I should lose myself?
I will pour myself into those moments with you.
And if you should lose yourself?
The place of women in this chaotic world is one of toil and trouble, and so I will suffer. I will be silent.
Impossible. Look at me. You're a living thing. You fall and you make a sound.
What do you know about anything?
I know enough.
The shrill cry of a modulated synth pierces through the crowd. The kick drum changes patterns and the dancers change direction. I can feel their eyes against the back of my head, probing, burrowing, looking. Weaver breaks my gaze and beckons to Philo, who I notice is now dancing with cats. She is wearing a blue-black striped cat skin with nipple cutouts and a turquoise tail, a GE chain dangling at the tip. He is waving his arms in front of her yellow eyes. The two of them come over promptly and kneel down on either side of us. Weaver's partner inhales heavily and revs up his thrusting. We watch our friend shake and shiver, flared nostrils lulling his head back, gasping. He is shouting, and he kisses each one of us on the lips, leaving slivers of rock hode on our tongues. We swallow the blend and follow him into the void. Follow him into the void. dream, my mother tells me about the before, of water blue and wide, of green so deep alive, then dust like smoke like vapor, then drought like sand like crater. In a dream, she is holding me close and kissing the top of my head. She smells like salt. I kick her hard in the stomach and then I turn and run away. There is no light here, but there is a sound, a whistle, a whisper, a horde of bees following me. My legs move through zero gravity until I have flipped myself upside down and I am hanging haphazardly among space junk. My feet are in the air, arms swinging below my head. Everywhere a thick, dizzying darkness. I look to my left and I see Earth, a cloudy gray orb in the distance, shriveled, dull, and ugly. I look to my right and I see a virtual login station. Lonely flower, gleaming jewel. Something hot is stinging my face all the way from here, and the sound is in my head now. The screaming is coming from always inside the body.
Look at the moon. How strange the moon is. She is like a woman rising from the like she's like a dead woman. One might fancy she was looking for dead things.
Intervirtual travel to back to IRL.com is now banned. Repeat. Intervirtual travel to back to IRL.com is now banned. Anyone found traveling to back to IRL.com will be logged out immediately and sent to CAM. Repeat. Anyone found traveling to back to IRL.com will be logged out immediately and sent to CAM. If anyone you know is thinking of traveling to back to IRL.com, report them anonymously via the emergency memo channel. Repeat, if someone you know is thinking of traveling to back to IRL.com, report them anonymously via the emergency memo channel. This announcement is brought to you by the People's Coalition of ABC Inc.
I look at Weaver and hold his heavy head. I become the sweat of his brow, the ground beneath his knees, the pleasure taking over. I am his flexed spine and violent lover. I am the push and pull, heat and fusion, gripping vice. The gravitational force that radiates from the center of their lovemaking. In this dark room, I am every eye and sensory input, every shiver and shaky breath. And I am shouting,
It is your responsibility to recognize what is destructive and extricate yourself.
I am shouting,
You must not look at her. You're always looking at her.
I am shouting.
If love is not an animal, then what is it?
Philo's got his hands around Kat's waist and he is fucking her. I watch him with his chest pressed up against hers and his cold eyes staring at me. Everyone is staring at me, and I am making noises I do not recognize. Howling at the pregnant vapor in the sky, I pull out chunks of hair and dig my nails into the soft flesh of my throat. I rip the gold GE tassels on my dress to shreds. I fall and roll over onto my back. Every cell in my body contorts itself in spasms. The bass booms. My heart breaks open. The blend floods in. Threads flow from my fingertips to the person beside me, pulsing red. I cannot see their face, but they are kissing my neck. Another suckles at my nipple. Another massaging my feet. Another with their hands up my dress and between my thighs. Red threads flow like cobwebs, vibrating all over us. So much sweat, so much heat, so much breaking into me. Light, so blinding and unbinding. One and, there was the word and the word was sound. Two and, in this realm of day and night I have no body but all bodies. That which enters me is what I have given, and so long and so we shall no longer exist. But in that nothingness which is at the limit of good, we shall be more real than any moment of our earthly life. And the music goes on, and the mother beat carries me away. No longer one, but all, in all ways and always. It is true, we can only handle so much reality, and so I turn my head and watch my beautiful boy give his love to another.
Your lips look like fresh blood.
Because you've killed me, oh deceiver. You've destroyed me completely.
Don't be dramatic. We're the same and we've been here before.
For a demon to enter, a door must be opened. You are the drain, the pipe, and the sewer. You are the door and the door opener.
Izzy.
This is the truth. You sing my name and you are wicked.
Izzy, stop it.
You're a cheat. You're a liar.
Isra.
What?
Stop it. Feel me. Link.
And I watch him bow his head and kiss cats. I become his inhale and exhale, his stiff dick. I become Cat's open mouth, her bare chest. I become the moistness between them, the friction that separates, the fever that clings. A wave rises, a neurosonic crescendo, the sensation of his lips hot on my own. Something endless within me breaks through tissue and bone and fluid. In this dark room, I lean back into deep feel and I am shouting, out, 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 out. I say, come out. And at that moment, a cry from the other side of the room bends and strokes matter. A voice ringing through the sky.
Hear me, all who venture forth into the false matrix of ritual. Do not forget the mud from which you have been molded. Do not forget the sun that showered you in light. Do not forget the water that made you whole again. Do not forget the wind that kissed your sacred skin. It is time to resist, to repent, to refuse. It is time to return to what is real. It is time to go back to IIL. Link, do not submit to your demonization. Link, do not lay down your freedom. Link, do not allow these magnetic forces to poison your destiny. We can make the grass grow again. We can clear the skies of soot and acid. We can bring back color when you allow yourself to be filled with evil cold or good cold. Link, link, link. It is time to log out. Log out. Link, do you hear me? Log out. Back to IIL.com. Back to IIL.com. Back to IIL.com. back to INL.com.
Repeat. Intervirtual travel to back to IRL.com is now banned.
Writhing and oozing, it is Cats who grabs my hand and lifts me from the floor. I tumble into her open arms and rest my head on her shoulder. She lays a kiss on my cheek.
Wake up, wake up, wake up. The protest has arrived.
And just like that, Weaver and Philo appear beside us, glowing, radioactive. I look at Philo, he smiles at me. I smile back. We all hold hands and merge with the cluster of bodies no longer in a circle but becoming a single solid mass, bracing itself against the booming crackle of the anti-virtual protesters.
Hear me, hear me.
Hordes of code congregating, thunder rumbling beneath our feet. The clouds above us are heavy. Flashes of blue light flicker and reveal the swelling. To the left, a pack of demo girls spazzing wildly. To the right, a gang of deadheads flinging themselves against each other. Up front, a parade of numbskulls facing off against the protesters. The kick drum morphs into a snare, the ticking of a sonic weapon. I spot my sister, Numi, in her 2 yellow braids. She is out in front, zipping among the numbskulls, a GE jewel sparkling in the center of her forehead.
Hear me, hear me.
Shut the fuck up!
She is cackling now, a surge of energy encircling her and her friends. I feel the intensity of their memo blast towards the protesters, condensed thought blasting off like fireworks. The protesters' faces contorting in pleasure and pain. In this dark room, emotion gives way to sensation. In this dark room, a shot of dopamine is a shot of dopamine.
You are lost in the false matrix of virtual. Lock out. Lock out.
I watch Numi shake her head to the beat, braids swinging left and right. I go to her, my friends in tow, single file through a petri dish of cellular activity and dancing feet. She catches sight of us and raises her hands to the sky before holding them out to me. She is mouthing.
A promise of a...
She is mouthing.
What's a body?
I understand immediately and like an instinct, a drive, I memo her from the depths of my 2 hearts.
The People's Coalition, a VC joke designed to make you complacent to atrophy your will. Hear me, hear me.
Sister, Link.
Yeah?
What do you see? What do you hear?
Nothing. Never a thing.
You have been fed lies and your bodies have been purposefully weakened. None of this is really happening.
Mr. Blink?
Yes?
Someone told me that there's a tradition that God can be seen in the color red.
Are these not the threads that bind us together?
They are. Bright red, bright light, intense light, difficult to bear.
Is that why you're doing this? Why you went numb?
I was born numb. I was born in glass and empty room. We've been here before, again and again.
You are sleepwalking, it is time to wake up. Link, it is time to wake up and go back to IRL. Link, will you hear me? Back to IRL.
Yes, but not like this. This is V drastic, you know? It's a V malfunction.
Maybe.
And who will you be? What will you become?
Repeat. Nothing. Never a thing.
And what about your friends, your skins, your jewels, your bucks?
It does not matter whether what one is possessed by is good or bad. It is the state of possession itself that is destructive.
And me? What about me? What about your life?
Human lives are brief and trivial. Yesterday, a blob of semen. Tomorrow, embalming fluid, ash, a string of code.
You know too much.
Repeat, nothing. I've never felt a thing.
Hear me.
A bomb goes off, a splinter of lightning, and we are outside of time. A numbskull, impossibly tall and green-haired, charges into the congregation of protesters head first. He collides into one of them, her petite frame flying to the ground. I watch as he kicks her in the chest with his heavy boot. Blood flies from her mouth and splatters across the glittering mob. She logs out. Another, a demo girl dressed in an SS221 GE two-piece, digs her steel-cut nails into the skull of a protester. He collapses in agony, his wail melting into the rising melody. She is laughing, burrowing the heel of her shoe into his body until he too logs out. One by one, the protesters fall. Violence swirls, all-encompassing.
Hear me.
The search for meaning. Like Gary's notion. Is it here? Lying about wanting to be discovered. Reality is our own creation. That's the bitter pill. The toughest Eucharist just swallowed. But it is also the most medicinal and transubstantiating. Take the vow. Take the vow. Create reality. Create reality.
I look at Philo, I look at Katz, I look at Weaver, I look at Numi, I look at my hands, blood, bright and brutal, all over us. We are dancing and screaming and twirling and touching and maxed out and logged in. Philo puts his hands around my waist and I lean back, close my eyes. The tempo picks up, the bass booms, the sky breaks, nitrogen raindrops sizzling on the way down. In this dark room, we move to the beat, 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 we move to the beat.